No, I'm fine. I'm fine right now.
We can start with the introduction.
Yes, yes. Okay, again, welcome to the class. Can you all hear me? Yes. Okay, good. So we are going to start with each of you introducing to the rest of the class. Why is that important? That's important because we are going to have a various tutorial where you are going to work with a few others as a group. So you should have a choice of choosing your partners in the group because you may want to collaborate with somebody who has a similar background or, for that matter, completely different background, okay? So this will provide you forming your team, based on your needs and somebody who can complement you. Okay, that's the reason. Also, when you introduce yourself, what I would like to hear is briefly who you are, what you expect to get out of the course. So that way we can tailor the course a little bit to meet your needs, okay? So again, we cannot give you a lot of time, just a minute, half a minute, that's what I'd like to do. So I would like to start from this end, and we'll just go around, okay? Please introduce yourself and give us some feel for what you're trying to get out of this course. Okay, here's the...
My name is Magdalene Cyril. I'm from Sedu Institute of Technology. I'm here to learn about cyber law and privacy.
I'm Rajashri, Assistant Professor, Department of CSC, Sedu Institute of Technology, Madurai. I'm here to learn about cyber law and privacy. I'm handling for cybersecurity students, cyber law paper, so I am here to learn about the paper.
Thank you.
So myself Nivita, I am from Sedu Institute of Technology and I am here to learn cyber law and privacy to improve myself.
Okay.
Hello everyone, this is Shupratim Basu, third year PhD scholar doing my research under Dr. Janet, and I'm here to learn the cyber law and privacy course.
Myself, I am Vaishnavi. I am from Sedu Institute of Technology. Here I come to know about cyber laws.
I am Dipti. I am from Sedu Institute of Technology. I here to know about cyber law and privacy.
Myself, Bharat. I am pursuing BCA second year. I want to learn about ethical use of internet.
Hello everyone. Myself, Ratish Raja from SNS College of Engineering from Coimbatore. I am here to learn about cyber law and privacy and how more it related towards real world and using your mobiles and technologies, internet, how privacy is important.
So, good morning everyone. I am Shaktivel from Savita Institute of Medical and Technical Sciences, Chennai. I am pursuing my engineering in CSE and cyber security. I am planning to pursue my career in cyber security, so I am here to improve my knowledge in this field. Thank you.
Hello sir, this is Uma Shankar. I work in a senior management position in an IT services company. I'm on the verge of retirement and wanted to see if I can make a career out of this area. I've never directly worked in cyber law, but I always was interested in cyber law. So I thought there's an opportunity for me to formally start my learning, and as I said, I'm quite serious to see if this can give some opportunity to develop my career in my second phase of my career. Yeah, that's it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nikita Patel, and I am a research scholar in Hidayatullah National Law University, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. And since I am already from the law background, but my expertise is in constitutional law, so I'm here to learn about the intellectual property rights and more importantly, the policy framework, how a policy should be framed using in the field of cyber law. Since Director Ma'am has also told that, Sir has also told that we have been using cyber internet for decades, but still we don't have a proper policy so that the rights of the citizens, the privacy rights of the citizens are not infringed. So I'm here to learn about those aspects.
You are certainly in the right course. We are going to have 3 policy exercises. One is generally IT policy, next one is privacy policy, then also responsible AI policy. So you'll have 3 policy exercises in this course. So I think, I believe it's going to satisfy your needs quite a bit. Thank you.
I'm Jayshree. I'm from Sedu Institute of Technology. I want to learn about cyber law and privacy for improve my knowledge.
I'm Mohonapriya of Sedu Institute of Technology. As I'm pursuing my BE degree in cybersecurity, I needed a more depth of knowledge in this core subject. So, I'm Shobana. I'm from Sedu Institute of Technology. I'm here to learn about cyber law and privacy.
I am Firoza from Sedu Institute of Technology. I need more important lessons from cyber law and privacy, so I'm interested in this course.
I am Molishwar from SRM Tiruchi. I am here to learn about cyber law and privacy.
I am Harisha, PhD scholar under Shivakumaran sir, and my research topic is cyber security in industrial automation. So I just want to need an introduction and how it is used in the industry sectors. That's why I am here.
So myself, Dr. Avadayappan, working in K. Ramakrishnan College of Technology, and also I'm heading the Department of AI as well as Digital Operation in KRCT. So I want to know about how to do some copyrights in academics, as well as how to ensure the students' data. That's my motive, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. So I am Madheshwaran from K. Ramakrishnan College of Technology, Trichy. So I am here to learn the cyber law and privacy and its importance. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I am GIAN. I am from RMK College, Chennai. I am here to gain knowledge about cyber law and privacy and about security organization. Thank you.
Very good morning to everyone. I am Subhashri from working as an assistant professor in Saranathan College of Engineering in the Department of Computer Science and Business Administration. So I am going to handle about the digital marketing paper for this semester. So I want to learn about the public privacy and about the cyber laws related to business environment. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I am Praveen Ampat. I am from CDAC Bangalore. I work as a scientist there. So apart from the other responsibility, I also look at the cyber. I'm working as a Chief Information Security Officer for the organization. So I would like to look at the different policy aspects and other law aspects which can be helpful in formulating the policies for the organization.
Hello everyone, my name is Ramiza. I'm from Jerusalem College of Engineering from Chennai. Right now I'm doing my cybersecurity, so I want to learn more about cyber law and privacy. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Rachel, Assistant Professor from the Department of Cybersecurity in Jerusalem Engineering College, Chennai. So I'm here to get more insights about privacy security and something more regarding the law of cyber and all. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I'm Dr. Ganeshaya, working as an associate professor in Ramaya Institution of Technology, Bangalore. So here I am learned to know more about how cyber law works in education and how the privacy assessment with respect to whatever the application we use in day-to-day applications. Thank you.
So good morning, sir. So this is Dr. Rajkumar Arul from VIT Chennai. I am a cryptographer and a security researcher, and I have worked with many compliance and regulations. So
I have done even threat modeling and other security aspects with respect to specific applications. I'm here to know the other side of the thing, especially with respect to the law enforcement and other agencies. Yeah, thank you.
Want to complement your technology side in the
Yes,
side, the legal
yes,
side.
exactly.
Okay, is there anyone I missed? Have you all spoken? Okay, good, thank you. Okay, so we'll start the formal lecture. So every day we're going to have some lectures and also some tutorial where you have a chance to do do some exercise. And that way you'll be learning a lot more. Okay. So as you know, all the four teachers, and we're all here to make sure that you get a lot out of this course. Okay, so the first session is going to be an overview of the course and some introductory materials. Okay, so first of all, you may be wondering what the course is about and what is its sort of its limitation as well. So this is basically tailored for giving an introduction to cyber law for information security and IT professionals and students such as you, okay? This course is not meant to make you a lawyer, okay? So because that requires very much different training. But if you have a good technology background, you still have to worry about how to comply, how to, when to seek assistance of your corporate lawyer or outside lawyer, okay? So this course is to give you enough feel for when something it could be a legal issue. Thank you. So we are not trying to make you a lawyer, but we are trying to be more legally knowledgeable in the cybersecurity profession that you are either getting to become one or you'll be practicing. Okay, so that's the okay. If you don't look for information online. So every time you go on the internet, chances are you may be subject to being affected by some cybercrime, okay? So it is all around us, and you have to protect yourself and your company for that matter. And the question, of course, is a lot of times, it's not a simply technology issue, it's also a legal issue. Okay, and also what is happening is traditional legal specialties, such as contract, intellectual property right, especially copyright, are limited in their ability to deal with the internet commerce, massive IP right and privacy violation. For example, in the olden days, if somebody has to copy a book, they can make 100 copies. Maybe they can make 200 copies. Okay, but that will still take them 2 days to copy a book. Whereas today, anything you can copy in a minute and send it to thousands of people. Okay, so in other words, the scale of infraction is so much. So the old laws are no longer applicable, or the old technology to protect that kind of violation is no longer applicable. So we're going to do that. It's the same thing with the privacy violation. So if you are in a doctor's office which is not internet enabled or your records are not online, at most if something leaks out of your office, only a few people are going to see it. But now everything is on the internet. So your x-rays could be given to thousands of people to a point where you may be denied, for example, insurance because you have some issue, okay? So essentially, the privacy is going to affect all of us because the data about you of all kinds, whether it is financial information, medical information, your even contact information, all those things can be easily distributed to a lot of people in the world. And not all of them have a good intention. They're going to hurt you some way or the other, okay? And that is the reason why we are so much worried about, learning how to protect yourself with legal framework as well, okay? So that's why this course. And also, as you know, internet does not have a boundaries, geographical boundaries. There's no boundaries within a country. There's no boundary across countries. So crimes can be committed anywhere. Victim can be anywhere. To do the present jurisdiction and all those things, which will be covered by Prasad later on, currently have a lot of issues, going after cyber criminals. Okay, so and we're going to look into where we stand legally, where still it lacks, okay? And certainly cyber incident challenge jurisdictional norms that we have. And also increasingly, if you're an IT person, IT manager, you have to comply with a lot of laws and regulations, such as privacy, such as record keeping, okay? And so you have to know what the laws are, and so that you adhere to the laws. And the last one, and which has become recently a major issue, we see a lot of advances in artificial intelligence, especially generative AI. I have not even defined to you what generative AI is, but we will. And machine learning, they are going to give you a lot of opportunities to improve productivity. Whether you're writing a paper, whether you are writing your code, everything you're going to do much better. You could do better, but then they can also pose challenge to safety, privacy, okay? And so we're going to look into how to work in that kind of environment with responsible AI or guidelines to make sure AI is ethical, the use of AI is ethical, and okay, so that's going to be the last today. And the last topic, I won't talk to you today, but it's one of my areas. I worked on the cyber offense as well. Countries are waging cyber wars all the time. And one of the issue in cyber wars is when can you say you have the right to wage a cyber war? There's a Latin term for it, jus ad bellum. And how do you make sure that actions you take is proportional to the harm that you have been inflicted on, okay? So, and in the case of cyber technology, we don't have a control. Once you release the virus, you can tell just affected 10 machines in China, okay? You just don't have any control. So the question is, what kind of legal framework you should have to guide what kind of harms you can do to other people, assuming that is reasonable, okay? But again, we won't talk about it. Part of the reason is a lot of things I cannot talk, they're all classified. But that's something most people talk about in the cyber law course. But we won't talk about this, but we'll talk about everything else, okay? If you're interested, I can refer you to some books on that area or some papers, but generally I want to stay away, okay, from the topic. Okay, so the course objectives. So we are going to give you a broad exposure to courts and jurisdiction. Prasad will be the main instructor on that. And cyber governance. Governance is not simply same as security management. Governance is a much higher level. And there are a lot of laws regarding how a company should be governed, even when it comes to cybersecurity, okay? And then, of course, privacy. India, as you know, recently passed a privacy law in 2023, and we're going to look into what it means to comply with the privacy law, you as a cybersecurity person. We're also going to talk about what is the relationship between privacy and cybersecurity, okay? Basically, if you want to protect any data, cybersecurity has all the technology that you need to protect the data, okay? And so that's why privacy is sort of always related to cybersecurity, or they're associated with cybersecurity. And as I said, intellectual property rights, especially copyrights and all those things, the old laws are not powerful enough, so we're going to look into it. And e-commerce. E-commerce could be anything from buying things to doing financial transaction to legal contract. It could be anything, okay? So we're going to look into not simply e-commerce, in general, broader area of e-business. And again, cybercrime. What is exactly crime in India, and some tort laws. Prakash is going to talk about this. And I'm going to be talking about evidence collection. In other words, if you think somebody has really committed a crime in your enterprise, there are a lot of rules about how to collect evidence so that you can prosecute the person. So there's a legal aspect, there's also a technology aspect that should still strictly follow the law to collect the evidence so that you can prosecute, okay, or even go for civil claims, okay. And then the last day we're going to be spending time on responsible AI. Since many of you don't know what AI is, I'm going to give you 10,000 feet height introduction to AI, and then we're going to talk about what does it mean to be responsible, what are the guidelines to develop as well as apply AI technology. Okay, so an important part of the course is learn to develop processes and procedures. In other words, these are simply knowledge. But at the end of the day, you have to learn to do real processes, develop processes and procedures, specifically policies, to enforce desired cyber behavior. See, policy is the most important management aspect we have to guide human behavior, whether you're an employee, whether you're a user. So we are going to spend a good bit of time in learning to understand policies as well as write policies. I don't know how many of you have ever read a privacy policy of, say, State Bank of India or some other thing. And even if you do read, you probably don't quite understand what they're saying, okay? So we're going to analyze policies, we're going to look into, actually writing policies, okay, of different kinds. So that's what the course is about, okay? So we're going to learn some topics, but also apply those topics in developing procedures, especially policies. Okay. Okay, so you may wonder how this course is about. We are funded by the government GIAN. Basically, I developed this course over the last 10 years in the US for US students, but taught and developed by IT technologists and legal professionals. And at the University of Maryland for students in the US since 2013. So what we have done is essentially take that outline of the course, content of the course, modify it for India, okay? So we have a lot of experience developing the course over 10 years for the US students. So what we're trying to do is, make that applicable to India, okay? So some of the resources we used is essentially, mostly to tailor the course for India, okay? So you have all these things in your lecture notes as well, okay? So you can take a look at it. So one thing I wanted to tell you, if you want, in order for you to get a lot out of this course, you may want to read ahead of the class. So for example, yesterday, we did send you the first day lectures. So if you read it ahead of the class, then you come here, then you'll get a lot more out of the course. Okay, but that way we can more focus on things that are really bother you or you don't quite understand. So I wanted to be more interactive to the extent, 30, 40 students class can allow. But the whole idea is for you to be more engaged, ask questions based on the previous reading. So I encourage all of you, before coming to the class, read the session notes, at least browse through it, get a quick feel what it's about, so that the class will be much more interactive and you'll get more out of it, okay? So before I go into the real cyber law background, let me ask you, stop for a moment and see whether you have any questions about the course, about, also Dr. Janet will also tell you, you have to take some, you'll be graded, there'll be some, you may have questions about that as well. So just ask all the questions you want to ask now before we move on to the real technical aspects. Dr. Janet, do you want to explain how students might be evaluated?
We have the schedule already shared with each one of you. So we will go according to the timing given in the schedule. And if you see at the end, we have an examination. Please don't be worried about the examination. We know that we are all, maybe half of you are students and the other half are faculty and industry people. We would prefer to work in the format of a flipped classroom, wherein, as sir had already said, we would share the material with you before the lecture. Please read through or just glance through the material, and in class we would encourage you to ask questions, make it as interactive as possible so that you understand. It's not like we tell and you listen. And each of your tutorial session, there are a set of tutorials given. So for the tutorials, you would be working together as a group. One thing I was reflecting about this workshop is that we have a senior member and we have, generations, students here, just completing your course or just starting your course. So we have people from all categories here. We would mix you up so that you would be together in a group and you would be able to brainstorm with each other so that we learn from each other, from the expertise, from the people who have experience, and from the new knowledge or the technology that the new people know. And your assignments would be given during the tutorials. You can start working on your assignments and you will have to submit at the end of the day one assignment for that day, which we would give you feedback on so that you would be able to improve. Don't think that you'll have a big assignment and you'll have to write something. It's an assignment of creating a company policy for any company that you imagine or think about. And of course, we would give, sir would give you a complete overview of policy, how it should be. Then you work together in a group and submit a company policy. Or your own professional ethics statement you will write for yourself. That would be the assignment for your day one. And as we go, we will let you know what your assignment is, because it's mandatory according to GIAN course schedule that there should be an assignment at the end of the day, and you will have a short exam at the end in order to evaluate yourself. So you can feel free to ask questions in between. When a sir is taking the lecture, please allow him to complete a particular topic, and then when it is done, you can stop in between and ask questions of whatever you want to be clarified. Please don't interrupt in between the lectures. Any other questions or doubts you have? So this is regarding the schedule and the assignments that you will submit. All your assignments, you will be submitting it online, either through mail or uploading it onto a Google Drive, which we will let you know. The modalities of it, we'll let you know in the afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Rajan. Okay, so now I will start on the first real session for the course. So, so you're going to be learning cyber law, right? Laws related to cybersecurity or cyberspace. So, but the laws didn't come about just like that. A lot of it came from originally what we call personal morals. Some of it might have been derived from your religion or whatever. And then there's ethics. So over the years, essentially, law is not alone, but there's a lot of other things guiding it, morals and ethics, okay? And so we're going to quickly take a look at what those terms mean. And the reason why it's important is often people confuse their own personal morals and tell other people they have to obey their morals with others. So they don't distinguish between what is self-imposed or what their religion or their community imposes and what the law is, what it means, how law is different from their view of law, okay, which is often moral. Then there's also issue of ethics. Ethics is a little bit broader term than morals. And many times what happens is we as the professionals, we have a lot of professional ethics that we have to follow, whether you're a lawyer, doctor, software engineer, we have a lot of ethical things we have to follow. So we're going to briefly distinguish these terms and also how they are related, because that understanding will sort of help you to put the right perspective on any law, especially cyber law, okay? And also, many of us have to also follow our ethical obligations. So in fact, we're going to have a tutorial on cyber ethics, on professional ethics. So this talk is essentially to build the right framework needed to understand how laws evolved, okay, and how it's different from the two related terms. Okay, so there is actually a paper that's referenced in the notes. You should read it. It's very well written. It is probably written in the 1950s by a professor from Yale, distinguished between laws, moral, and ethics. It's a good paper to read, okay? And you will get a lot of fun out of it, okay? And it's a lot of philosophical questions it also raises. So, basically, if you look at the dictionary, what is moral and ethics, often ethics and morals deal with what is right or good, okay? And of course, to some extent, the definitions are circular. Morals will talk about ethics, ethics will talk about morals. So, anytime you have a circular definition, it's not really a good definition. But the important thing is there is some difference. Morals are generally personal, okay? In other words, you set it to yourself, your parents could have given you, your immediate religion would have given you, but they're still very personal. For example, you may say compassion to everything, okay? Which you could have gotten from Buddhism, for all I know, okay? Or fairness in dealing with other humans, empathy. These are all good to have personal morals. But you can't tell somebody, have a lot of empathy, otherwise I'm going to arrest you. You can't do that. It's just your view of the world. And there's no external enforcement power, okay? Often people confuse their moral, for example, I don't want to kill animals, but you can't go and tell other people that you can't do it, okay? So I think that's sort of the, so the morals are personal, there's no enforcement power, except, you can beat up your children to be moral, but then, generally, there's no legal authority, there's no external force to enforce it. And ethics, it's often a little bit more philosophical. People argue about a lot of things, whether it is a good idea for doctors to give dying patients accelerated death, okay? And generally, most communities will say still, doctors are not allowed to kill, okay? So medicine, law, software engineering, we all have a lot of professional ethics. And over the years, philosophers always talked about, what is ethical, what is not ethical, whether it comes to war, whether it comes to civilian life, and so on. For example, in medicine and law, even if you don't cure in medicine, you cannot hurt a patient. That's sort of our number one law, number one ethics. Similarly, in finance, advisor, law, your client-patient comes first, fiduciary interest. In the case of software engineering, one of the ethics is you shall never release a system before it has been tested. There are times people have released it because of their time pressure, half-tested system, but that will, essentially, no. You never release the system before it's time. You should take all the pressure and live with it before, So we all professions have ethics, and we as computer scientists, cybersecurity, software engineers, we have a lot of professional ethics. In addition to laws we have to follow, we should also follow the ethical that is established by your professional organization. Often, companies also have a lot of ethics. They will say from day one, certain things you cannot do. For example, in a company I work for, you should never get a software that is given free. You should scrutinize it. Open source is okay, but somebody gives you software, there's something catch to it, for example. Okay. Anyway, so once again, morals are personal. Ethics are a little bit related to morals, but they more come from the society often we belong. And then there is, here is our related discipline ethics. The first one is IEEE ACM, Software Engineering Code of Ethics. And then Code of Ethics of the ACM, Association for Computing Machinery, Computer Society of India Code of Ethics. Again, you may want to read one or more of this, especially the last one, okay, so that you would know how to behave ethically. Okay, finally, laws. Laws is usually by an organized state. And when I say state, I don't mean Tamil Nadu, Kerala. I mean the country, okay? It could be at the state level, it could be the municipality level, but some form of government, laws are formed. And usually laws, again, punish you for violation against the state, is against the state and against another citizen, okay? And you have enforcement through police, judiciary, etc., okay? Often involves three parties, with the victim, the abuser, and the government, okay? It could be civil, you can sue for somebody for destroying your property, or in the case of cyber, destroying your website. Okay, so in general, three parties are involved. Ethics is usually two, you and the personal society, and then morals, just you, okay. So in this course, again, Prakash is going to lead this. We are going to look into various types of cyber laws on cybercrime, data protection, privacy, copyright, okay? So we're going to look into all these laws governing our behavior in the cyberspace. And again, I encourage you to read this paper, and you'll get a lot out of it. It's very well written. Okay, so what are the takeaways? The takeaways is when morals, ethics, and laws align, they get accepted as they are perceived to be just. Okay, so if you think of it, they overlap a lot, morals, laws, and ethics. In fact, one influences the other. And for example, when you steal, if somebody chops off your hand, immediately you will say it's unjust. You know why? That's because your concept of morality is he only stole $100, 100 rupees. Should he lose his arm for that? So generally, when your concept of what is right or wrong and laws and ethics, they align, generally you feel it is a good law. Otherwise, you fight against it. For example, when the British were ruling us, they did all kinds of things, and most people said it's incredibly unfair, okay, to put somebody, in jail for protesting, okay, whereas that was actually allowed in many ways, okay. So the whole point is